Okay, hello again. I should say good morning. Um, I have previously done some work and presentation in regards to Unit 315. Now, I've worked from Units 315, 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. What I want to do next is to look at Units outcome 2 is the one I want to look at next, basically. Okay? And this requires us to have a look at use of information and documentations, use of documentation to confirm that materials and equipment is of the correct quantity and is free from damage. Now, you will do that normally as an inspection, because when you order materials or put in a prerequisition for conduit or couplers or saddles, you're making that requisition already and you're meeting this element of 315. Now, keep a record of everything that you've done, because it all forms part of your portfolio and it enables you to have the work to hand without having to go looking for it. Okay? Now, we then will look at outcome 3 in regards to 315, or in some cases, some of you may have it as 615. Now, here in 3.1, it will require you to use appropriate procedures to record. So you're recording the work that you will need to have done. And contract variations. Now, you may have been asked to, on your contract initially, it asks for 12 print socket outlets. But as the job progresses and the installation begins to take shape, the client may suddenly decide, well, look, 12 sockets may not do, so I may need 15. So you need to take into account changes in variations or the requirement of the client. And obviously you need then to put in another requisition in respect as an amendment to the original contract or requirements. Okay? Now, looking again at 315 outcome 3, authorization has been obtained from relevant persons. Now, if you're on the job, obviously you have been given prerequisition or authorization to be there, because your supervisor would also be there, who will be supervising you or overseeing the work that you have done. Okay? Now, I'm not going to talk too long on this, because what I want to do is to take this in stages, step by step, so you can see what's been done and how to do it. Now, remember that all this work is linked to Unit 311, or in some cases again 611. You need to have done all that work backwards from that previous element and those outcomes and those relevant units to enable to make your job easier at 315, 316 and 317. Now, if you've done that work and you have actually put that process into place with the photographic evidence, the write-up, the report, the testimonials, etc., witness statements, product requisitions, etc., your folder will begin to have taken shape and should begin to look something like coming up a little bit more. Now, purely as an example, what I've seen done is, in some cases, you may have used appropriate procedures to record contract variations. Now, you cannot just simply say, well, I have recorded contract variations when the client requested an additional socket or an additional 4 sockets. and put that as a sentence. That is not appropriate. This is not an English exercise. It is a practical exercise with physical evidence showing that you know what you're doing and that you have already done it, and that you can work on your own. Your portfolio begins to tell us that, and it's the evidence to show that you are the competent electrician that I know you can be. Okay? So, evidence, photographic, written up evidence. Get the support of your supervisor to provide you with those written texts, the written reports. Get the witness testimonies done. Have the witness testimony being supported by photographic evidence showing yourselves there. Okay? You don't need to pose or pretend. You are doing the job already. Show us the evidence. It is there. Okay, I'm going to stop there for now, but just one thing more I want to show before I go is that when you come to completing your sign-off for 315, remember that it needs to be signed by the electrical assessor, of course, and it will need to be signed by IQA, Internal Quality Assurance. Now, the Internal Quality Assurance person may not be an electrician, so they may have no electrical knowledge. So the IQA is basically signing off to confirm that you as a student, in regards to your portfolio, has done the work to the standard expected by the college. Okay? So in this case, he does not need to be an electrician, but where elements like maybe 315, 1.1, he can read and say, well, look, has the student met that criteria, and what evidence has he shown? He simply needs to be able to find that evidence in that sense and know that it is there, and that's the process that will go run through. The electrical assessor will then simply confirm that he, having the knowledge to determine that you have met the criteria laid down by the leading body in respect of the information provided and given, that he is then signed to say, yes, the student has achieved that criteria. Okay? So keep that in mind. Now, you cannot get too much evidence. The more you have, the better. Do not try to be measly picking or limit the evidence you can gather. You can never have enough. The more evidence you have, the more proficient you're likely to be, and the more evidence you are able to show that you know what you're doing. And that's what this is about. Okay? Thank you.